as of the 21st of this month. I signed Proclamation number 1081, placing the entire Philippines under martial law.
I was one of the victims of the martial law regime. I was arrested sa isang rally galing sa Agdao papunta San Pedro. Na-arrest ako because I was accused of leading the thousands of people who joined the rally. I was invited to this rally to talk about the evils of martial law, about the regime, in general about the Philippine political economy and the educational system. So kasi medyo ang topics ko were very controversial. Palagi I feel na palagi sinusundan ng mga intelligence people. Kung hindi sila nasa labas ng classroom ko, sa mga rallies, you would be katabi-tabi para makinig ko ang sinasabi ko. So, I felt that I was watched for a long time by the agents of the military. And prison ako, kasama ng apat kong kasamahan sa rally, along with 300 or so people from Toril and Barangkatan, mga grassroots people na joined the rally. Pero sila, they were released after 3 days, they were released. Kami, 5 kami, Nick Abunanga, Dodong Gilimutan, somebody Raul Quintanilla from UM, at a bystander lang, 5 kami, more than 3 months kami. Anong ginawa sa akin, sinunog ang katawan ko ng mga cigarette box by a military. Ang dami, 25, 30, 35 sunog ng cigarette box. Yung sigarilyo, tusok, hitit, tapos tusok, hitit, tapos tusok, gano'n. They stopped that when they learned that I was a tenure professor. So they were, after that, they were careful about what to do with me kasi alam nila na may pangalan ako sa university and sa community. But nevertheless, I stayed in prison. I was accused of destroying or masterminding the destruction of the fire truck noon sa Don Bonifacio Canto because the fire truck was there prepared to maybe to host the people who are marching. Pero nung nasira yung fire truck, na-arresto na ako. I was already invited to the PC barrack for possible interrogation now. But there was not much of an interrogation because 1 or 2 standard questions na ginawa ko mga nagkarali. Diretso na ako sa detention center. Although meron pa rin mga tao na medyo dinudahan, meron pa rin nagpapanak, pero hindi na ganong katindi, hindi na ganong karami as during the time of Marcos. So kanon, it's a little better, but still meron pa rin semblance of militarization because still, no matter the fact that we would meet and have a dialogue with the military about promotion and protection of human rights doon sa kabukiran, especially sa mga lumang areas, marami pa rin atrocities na nangyari, marami pa rin human rights violation na nangyari. Especially because karamihan sa mga lumad kasi are practically defenseless and ignorant about their rights, so they have to come to the city and ask for advice, ask for help, etc. But ibig sabihin, no matter how much we tell the military to respect human rights, meron pa rin ginagawang kasamaan o kamalian doon sa kabukiran. Okay? Not just the lumad, but even suspected na bayan member, suspected na aktivista ng mga farmers group, suspected na aktivista ng anong bayan, member or whatever, activist group or NDF group, suspetsado lang, binabantayan ka na, at saka may mga ginagawa military ngayon, stay in a community, detachment would stay in a community and find out kung sino yung mga suspiciosong people in the community. Parang they ask people kung do you know this, you know that, so parang they are trying to figure out kung sino talaga mabantayan or possibly na pwede dadakpin in the future. So, these are still traces of martial law.